Thank you. Stuart Suna from Sofa Cup Studios. As Google, you have your own lab, the Cornell Technion campus, and where we go. I've heard from some of the Technion people when I was in Israel that most of these labs are what they call dry labs. It's more about the applied sciences. And just curious, are there any needs for any, quote, wet labs or anything in the engineering field to really continue to expand the digital industry, not just for the applied, but also for just creating new ideas?
So if I'm interpreting your question correctly, more interacting with the real world rather than just being software and virtual. So I think we're already starting, and somebody earlier mentioned the additive manufacturing, the 3D printing and so on, there's some examples here. And the fact that, at least 2 companies that I know of, probably more, based in Brooklyn, are doing exactly that. And I think I'm sort of super excited. That's not my area of expertise, but it's something I'm really excited about. It does seem like the new wave, at least from a technological point of view. And I think there's sort of ideal spaces out in Brooklyn and the Navy yards and so on. You can start to see stuff.
Long Island City.
Sorry, excuse me, Long Island City, of course. That's what I meant to say. I think we're actually, leading in some sense in that revolution. We do need to encourage that though, because I joke we have a Lego workshop in the Google offices. I got to spend $14,000 worth of Google's money on Legos, and my argument was, so I grew up. My dad was an aircraft mechanic, and so I grew up sort of making stuff. But the real world is incredibly frustrating, right? And you cut the piece of wood a little too short, and you've got to start over. Everybody can build stuff with Legos, so all these software engineers build stuff with Legos, but that's kind of a poor substitute for doing real engineering in the real world. And so I think we could do with a lot more of that for sure.
It is striking that, as somebody said earlier, that the 3D printing has taken off in New York. Of all the things you would think would not sort of work in New York, you would say, well, manufacturing so low density of use, but in fact it is pretty high efficiency. You don't need a lot of people to do it. So.
Right.